Hey guys, Big Red 310. The first time I've been on camera by myself since Final Battle preview, so this is my Final Battle. Not really a review, more like how I got there. How I got to Final Battle, plus reviews of these two Ring of Honor shows, Richards vs. Daniels and Survival the Fittest. How did I get them so early, you say? I got them at the show. That's really it. At the show, they had them for $15, and I just bought both of them then. I would have saw them Sunday, but I was still in New York, and I didn't really have a means of watching it by Sunday, on Sunday, and then I just saw them. I saw this on Monday, and I finished this today. I started it yesterday. But I'm not going to get into how. First, I'm going to start with Richards vs. Daniels. That's right. If you want to know how I got to Final Battle, how I flew to New York, my devious plans, 6 months in the making, you want to know how that all came to be, well, you're going to have to listen to a Ring of Honor review. Because I want you to support this company. And so if I had to pick one of the two to review that you had to listen to, I would pick this one. Listen to how great a show this is, and listen to why I think you should buy this show and support Ring of Honor. Alright, so let's get started with my review of Richards vs. Daniels. Alright, Richards vs. Daniels. Alright, I thought this was a great show. It had its problems with it, and I can totally understand if some people give this show a 7.5 or a 7.75. I'm personally going to go with 8, with an 8, and I'll explain why. We start off with the All Night Express versus Colt and O'Reilly. This was a really good match. Not as good as the Final Battle match, in my opinion. I've yet to see Final Battle on Go Fight Live. I've ordered it already. I'm going to watch it. Just give me some time. A lot of people have been wanting me to review TLC, so I'm going to watch TLC first. Then I'm going to watch Final Battle. Maybe that's probably the better order to do it, actually. But yeah, this show, a great show. So that match I thought was really, really fun. A little too short. It kind of hurt the Final Battle match, in my opinion, because a lot of the Final Battle spots that I thought were so innovative, I saw them do on this match. So I was like, oh, okay, maybe that wasn't as cool as I thought. But like Cole's DDT onto King on the apron, they did that exact same spot in this match. Now the crowd reacted better in Final Battle, but it really does take away from the match when you've seen it happen again. But this was a really fun match. Maybe if I saw this match before the Final Battle match, maybe I would have given this a higher rating. But I still really liked it. I still gave it 3 1/4. Ricky Reyes versus Andy Right Leg Ridge in Trial Series number 2. I really like the Trial Series concept. You know, a lot of people were saying that this might be one of the worst matches in Ring of Honor of the year. I didn't think it was that bad. I didn't think it was that good either, though. When Ridge was on offense, it was a lot of fun. That's kind of been the theme of the Andy Right Leg Ridge Trial Series. When Ridge was on offense, it was good. When the other guy was, not so much. When Reyes, he's not good. I'm sorry. He's been given so many chances to prove us wrong, and he's failed every single time. So I'm not going to give him another chance. I'm sorry. I'm just not. But I did think this was a really good, alright match for what it was. Next, we got the worst match of the night. Lady JoJo and Nevaeh versus Daizee and Jamilla. This was terrible. Oh, I won't say it was terrible, but it wasn't good. I didn't like this. I'm giving it 2 1/4 because the very end, I thought Daizee Haze did some nice stuff. But throughout the entire match, I just don't like Lady JoJo at all. I do not like Jamilla. I mean, I know she's a student, so she has an excuse. Lady JoJo and Nevaeh, they do not have excuses. I just didn't like this match that much. I gave it 2 1/4. Next, we had Homicide versus Kevin Steen. I really liked this match. I thought this match was really good. I can understand some people giving this 3 stars, 3 1/4, but I thought this match was just so much fun. These guys worked really well together. Kevin Steen, there was this really funny spot where Kevin Steen was trying to put the barricade in the ring, and he couldn't do it, and so he got mad. He threw the barricade on the floor, and he started elbowing the barricade and kicking at it and spitting on it, and the entire crowd was laughing and clapping really hard, and Homicide was just staring at him. It was fun. These guys had a great brawl. They brawled outside the ring. They worked really well together. It really gave me a better impression of Homicide than what I thought, because a lot of people have been not too happy with Homicide's performance as of late. This was probably the best match he's had since his recent indie return. And I really liked it. Like I said, I can understand some people giving 3 1/4, but I thought it was so entertaining and so much fun. And I like the aftermath with Steen attacking Homicide. Apparently, Homicide was supposed to be involved in the I Quit match, but he had to go to the hospital, so that kind of killed the plans. But I don't know how he got hurt. But still, this was a good match. Homicide gave a nice speech afterwards, thanking Ring of Honor. I really like this. I definitely, in my opinion, 3rd best match on the show. Actually, maybe 4th. Next, we got Mondo versus Metal Master. This was alright. This wasn't as bad as Reyes. It was just really short and kind of a forgettable match. I mean, there wasn't really a reason for this match to happen. It just kind of happened. And then after the match ended, I'm like, okay, that was good, but I'm going to forget about this match in around 20 minutes. And I did. It was all right. It was just really short. I do like Mondo, and I do like Metal Master. Chad Collier's improved so much with that Metal Master gimmick. Next, we got the Kings of Wrestling versus the Briscoes. Do not expect a classic Kings of Wrestling Briscoes match like we got at Big Bang, like we got at the Force Honor. I haven't seen their HCNet match yet, but I heard that was pretty good. This was really good, but this was also really short, surprisingly short for a Kings Briscoes match. It was only like 14, 15 minutes. It was elimination style. I didn't really like how the eliminations were paced. Like, I don't want to ruin it though. I just didn't like how the eliminations ended up being. But this was still a really fun match. For a 14, it was really short, but I thought it was so much fun. The Briscoes are just really fun to watch. These two teams work really well together. I thought it was the second best match of the night, actually. I gave it 3.5, and I can totally understand some people giving this 3 3/4. It just didn't really reach that level for me. Next, we got Steve Corino versus Cabana I Quit match. This has been building up for a while. This is the type of match I felt should have happened. You know, if there's any one problem I had with Steen, the Steen Corino Cabana Generico feud, I thought it should have gone like this. I thought Steen should have taken out Cabana like he did at Supercard of Honor 5. Then I thought Generico should have taken out Steve Corino, and then them two had their first match like they did at the Force Honor. Then have them have round 2, which I thought should have happened at Glory by Honor and not in Collinsville. And then you have Corino and Cabana like officially end their stuff and officially just have it be Kevin Steen and El Generico. And that's what the purpose of this match was, to finally eliminate these two from the equation. And I really, really, really liked this match. It was fun. And awesome storytelling in this match. Awesome storytelling. It wasn't really a brutal, bloody I Quit match, but there wasn't really a lot of high spots, but there was some great, great storytelling in this match. Think John Cena versus Randy Orton from Bragging Rights. It had a lot of great storytelling. I mean, not Bragging Rights, Breaking Point from last year. A lot of good storytelling. Not necessarily a lot of wrestling happening in the match, but a lot of great storytelling. A lot of great storytelling in this match. And there were some brutal spots too. So I'll give the match that. That's why I gave it 3.5. I really enjoyed this match. I had a lot of fun with it. Next we had, and then we had the main event, the reason people bought the show. Christopher Daniels versus Davey Richards. Now, I thought this match was awesome. Don't get me wrong. It was awesome. But a little disappointing. I mean, I still gave it 4.5. I still thought it was incredible. I understand, you gave something 4.5 stars and you're calling it disappointing? How selfish can you be? I'm pretty selfish, I guess, because I thought this match would be incredible. And also, this may not be a big deal to most people, but it was to me. Richards versus Daniels. I don't think ROH should do match titles as the title of a show unless it's a pretty fucking big deal. They did it for Joe Punk too. They did it for Joe Kabashi. And they did it for Aries versus Richards, which that's different. I think Ring of Honor truly thought that was like the best wrestling match they had all year. And I think Ring of Honor truly thought that would be a classic for the ages. Well, I did give that match 4 3/4, and I did think it was amazing. That wasn't a match. Isn't really a lot of people are going to remember from time to come. You know, it was on a Friday show for one, and it was an incredible match, but it's not really a memorable match. This match actually might be a little more memorable because they built this match for months and months and months. So I'm not big on naming the title of a match on the show unless it truly is a 5-star match. This wasn't, but at the same time, the whole purpose of the show was built around this match. Like when Ring of Honor announced this match for Chicago, you knew you went to Chicago just to see Richards versus Daniels. So from that perspective, I can understand the title of the match being the title of the show. But I think just because of the tradition Ring of Honor is laid with that, I don't think it should have done it. But it was still an awesome, awesome match. I really, really enjoyed this match. Definitely I'd give it 4.5. Awesome, incredible stuff. I was very close to giving it a high 4 1/4, but I gave it 4.5 because it's been building for a while. I really did like the match. But I do think a lot of people are going to be disappointed when they see this match. And I think it's going to be like one of the best matches of the year. I have a match of the year countdown of like 100 and something matches that are 4 stars or higher. And this match I have at like 19. So while it is awesome and while it does rank really high, it doesn't even make my top 10. In fact, for top 10 Ring of Honor matches of the year, let me just see where it ranks among those matches. I have not inputted any of the Final Battle matches, but I can already tell you that the double main event were both better than this match. So that's 1, 2. Let me see how many I have ahead of it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have 10 matches ahead of this one. So it's not even my Ring of Honor top 10 matches of the year. But this was still an awesome match. I still recommend seeing this match. It was definitely a lot of fun to watch. So overall, I'd give the whole show an 8. You know, people are gonna. It reminds me a lot of Tag Wars, where there's an incredible main event, and there's not really another great match, but there's a lot of other good stuff. The opener was really good. The Homicide match was really good. The Kings of Wrestling match was really good. The I Quit match was really good. A lot of good stuff on the show. Really good matches and an awesome main event. To me, that qualifies an 8 out of 10. So yeah, I definitely recommend picking up this show. I really, really enjoyed it. Very easy to sit through. Yeah, definitely pick Richards versus Daniels. All right, now we'll go into how I got into New York City, because I know that's what everyone's been asking me for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. All right, here's what happened. Around in June, July, a lot of people were making videos saying, if you haven't seen Ring of Honor live, you're not getting the full experience. Honor Hammer said this originally. Then a few other people said it as well. And it got me thinking, you know what? I don't think I am getting the full experience. I mean, I have all these DVDs. I have a freaking like 30 of them right here that I've had over the past year, since like December of 2009, that I've been trying to watch. I just haven't gone around to it. I've been really busy. Because of that, I figured I have all these DVDs, but I've never really been to a live show. And it got me kind of upset. And then when the promotion down in Florida, WWP, I believe, World Wrestling Promotions, World Wrestling Presents, something like that. When that was starting up, a lot of people were going crazy thinking this might be the number 3 promotion in the United States. This might outlast Ring of Honor. Some people were even saying Ring of Honor might not have made it if this promotion really came to thrive. They were stealing a lot of their talent. They had a lot of healthcare benefits that no other indie company or even TNA could even provide. So it was a money deal. A lot of these wrestlers should have gone down there. And I was very sad, but very happy at the same time, thinking, you know what? Ring of Honor might die, but all these guys are coming to Florida. I can finally see them live. Even if they live 5 hours away from me, I will make that 5-hour drive. TNA, for those of you who don't know, is like 4 hours away from me. I'm not making that drive to see TNA. Will I make a 5-hour drive to see Ring of Honor version 2? Yeah, I would. So I decided I would make that drive to Ring of Honor version 2. Then the booker of this promotion quit, I believe. And then a lot of the wrestlers complained that they weren't getting any money in the mail. They signed the contract a while ago and they weren't getting anything out of it. You know, so I heard a rumor, this was a rumor, that one wrestler from like a far east indie company had quit his promotion and he had spent 6 months without a paycheck from this company. So he went back with his promotion and he didn't sign a contract. And then he quit the company. So that this company eventually fell apart and it never officially came to fruition, which made me kind of happy. Even though, yes, I wasn't going to get to see these guys live, I mean, Ring of Honor would still live. Even though Ring of Honor would probably would have been fine. The more I think about it, if this promotion would have been out, they wouldn't be as successful as they are now, but they would have been fine. They would have stuck around. And so then it just got me thinking, I need to see these guys live. I need to see these guys live. I just have to do it. And that's when I thought to myself, Final Battle 2010. That's the day. Not that it's anybody's business, but one of my parents has to go into New York a few times a month because she has an office there. She had it there many years ago. I just gave it away. My mom has an office there. She had it there many years ago. And she hasn't been able to give it up. So she has to fly in there to go. And I thought, she has to go to New York anyways. What if she has to go December 18th? Because I know she has to do it a lot during December. Maybe I can go with her. Maybe I can go see Final Battle then. I mean, my ticket would be free because it's part of her job. Maybe I can go do it. And so I thought about this, and I was like, this might be a good idea. And so I was like, but if I go to Final Battle, who am I going to go with? And I contacted Honor Hammer. I wanted to know, hey, if you're not going with anybody, you want to go with me? I told him about my whole plan. I told him not to tell anybody. I told him, hey, it's only a possibility. I don't even know if it's true, but they won't let me go if I don't go with someone else. You want to go? And at the time, I think his dad told him that he couldn't go. Later, his dad would tell him he would be able to go, but that was already after he had agreed to come with me. And so he said, yeah, sure, I'll go. And so we talked about it. I told my parents about it. They didn't like the idea at first, but, they after the more I told them about Honor Hammer, they were fine with it eventually. It took a few months of convincing, but they were fine with it. And so I calculated this plan. I was like, okay, fine. During school, I was in school when the tickets went on sale at 10 a.m. I busted out my iPhone. It was during homeroom. I had like 6 minutes before I had to go to class. I was in my homeroom. My home teacher doesn't care. And so I'm there in homeroom. I look at the clock. I have 6 minutes left. So I'm on my iPhone. Boom, boom, boom. Ring of Honor's website. Boom, boom, boom. Final Battle. First row balcony. Clicked. I got 3 tickets originally. Because originally I thought my brother was going to come with me. Because at the time I hadn't convinced my parents that I can go with Honor Hammer. But he didn't. He ended up not wanting to go. And I ended up giving away the ticket. And so Honor Hammer then paid me back later for the ticket that I bought for him. Full price. And then I had my tickets. All I needed to do was make sure I went to New York. And for months and months, like, They kept putting it off. They kept telling me, yeah, it's a high possibility, but we won't. I was never fully sure that I was going until a week before Final Battle. Yeah, that's when I knew I was going, because we found out that the Knicks game, and I'm a Heat fan, for those of you who know, the Knicks game was the day before Final Battle. So I realized, holy shit, the Knicks are there. And I told my brothers about it, and they were stoked. They were like, we want to go now. And so, but I knew if they went, then my mom wouldn't be able to go to work. And so I wouldn't have that free ticket to go. And then after much thinking, after much talking with the family, we decided, we didn't get to go on vacation during the summer because of problems. Not during the summer, Thanksgiving. We didn't get to go on vacation during Thanksgiving, which we usually do every year. We couldn't go because of problems. And we had a vacation scheduled for next summer, and we couldn't go to that either because of problems that I don't want to get into. So we thought, hey, let's make a little mini vacation out of this. Let's go to New York for like 3 days. Let's get the vacation that we didn't get. So myself, my mom, and 2 of my brothers, boom. We thought about it and we planned it. And we went to New York. Friday we went to the Heat game, the Knicks game. That was crazy. Good God, that was crazy. The atmosphere in that place was incredible. We had a little mini vacation. We went there, and then next day, we had fun around New York City. And then around 5 o'clock, I met Honor Hammer at the train station, which was right near Madison Square Garden. And boom, we went to go to Final Battle. That's the story. Yeah, that's how I got to New York City. I know a lot of people were spreading rumors. You paid all that money? Well, it was a family vacation. We were going to go anyways. It's not like we went just so I would go to Ring of Honor. Even though my original directive was that, don't get me wrong. But we made a vacation out of it. So it's not like I paid all that money just to fly to New York to see Final Battle. It was more like I was in New York anyways, so I got to go to Final Battle. And that's how it was. I probably would have been to New York anyways that weekend, the more I think about it. The more I thought about the Heat game and not being able to go on a vacation. And my brothers really wanted to see the Heat Knicks. So yeah, I think I would have been there anyways. But I did pre-plan this. I was probably the main catalyst why we went there to begin with. But yeah, that's the story. I did go on vacation in New York. I had a lot of fun in New York, and I went to Final Battle while I was there. When I went to Final Battle, me and Honor Hammer were walking up the stairs. We were about to open the doors, and then Monoxide walks by. And then Honor Hammer, I just walked past him. Because remember, this was a big surprise. I told Honor Hammer not to tell anybody that I was going. Everybody thought he was going with his dad. And some people on Twitter, even in memory of Papa Briscoe, wanted Papa Hammer 26 to come. Papa Hammer, as people called him. And so Monoxide was walking by. And I just walked past him because I don't want anybody to see me. I wanted to walk in and show everybody. And then Honor Hammer sees me like, yo, hey, what's up? I think this was the first time Honor Hammer had seen Monoxide. And I was like, oh, man, it's you. What's up, man? And then Monoxide goes, so, where's Papa Hammer? And then Honor Hammer points to me. I walk over there, and I'm like, yo. And then Monoxide literally just stared at me. He stared at me for 2 straight minutes, just in awe. It's like, come here for a second. And then after that, he grabbed me. He brought me in. We opened the doors. We saw, as you saw in the very first picture, we were, right there in the general admission, right by the merchandise table where everybody was gathered around. And Monoxide goes, I found Honor Hammer. And everyone's like, yeah. And then he's like, and guess who came with him? And then I showed up. And I met all the guys. And they were all shocked. And it was really, really funny. Sabutnaevur Forever was there. 187 was there with his friend. Instant Classic G1. Elton, a friend of mine on Skype. Who else? Elton was there. I don't want to forget anybody. Mr. Guns was there. And maybe Trademark was there. And I just saw them and they were all shocked. And I thought it was really funny. I'm like, hello. And they all said, you're much bigger than I thought you were. I'm 6'1", for those who don't know. I know, you probably can't imagine that I'm 6'1". Maybe in the pictures, I'm almost the same height as Jim Cornette. I am 6'1", though. And so I told them, I'm like, yo, I'm here. And they were really shocked, and I thought it was awesome. I thought it was really cool. I talked to them for a little bit, told them how I got there, everything. Went to go see Jim Cornette, talked to him, asked him a question about Dixie Carter's Yushu, which was really funny. He told me some interesting information, including that Dixie Carter, for most of the booking meetings, wouldn't go to the booking meetings. She would walk in, sit in the makeup chair, and then sit in the front row with the fans. I found that very insightful. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe I probably should have known this already, but hey, maybe I gave her too much credit. And so then I talked to Jim Cornette. I took a picture with him. My phone ran out of battery 2 seconds before I was about to take the picture. So Trademark was right there, and I'm like, yo, Trademark, can you please take a picture? And he's like, yeah, sure, man, no problem. So he took it on his phone, and then he sent it to me. And then I was going to go buy his book, and I only had $12 on me, and the book was $20. And then I said, oh, I'm sorry, I only have 12. So I went, I meant my bad. I said, I'm sorry, I only have 15, because I thought I had $15. And then they said, no problem, Christmas special. But then when I realized I didn't have $15, I said, I'll be right back. I went back. Instant Classic G1 lent me $10. Thank you very much for that, by the way. And then I got the money. I came back. I showed them. I gave him 19 or something. He gave me $10, and it turns out I only had like 2. I thought I had 12, but in reality I had 2. All I remember was all I had was $19 on me. They accepted $19, and then she gave me $4 back to get a drink afterwards, which I thought was super nice. Just showed the type of quality of persons that were there at the Ring of Honor show. This was like Jim Cornette's assistant or something. And so I ended up getting the book for like $14, and the book is right here. Signed by Jim Cornette and everything. Really nice of them. Here are my ticket stub, by the way. They tear the other part of it once you enter the arena. And then I found a $50 bill in my pocket, which I had from like months earlier. I thought that was like a sign from God. I was like, oh my God, thank you. And so I went to the merchandise. I went to get a drink, and then I met with Honor Hammer in our seats. That's the third picture you see. The third picture was where we sat at. I know you think, oh, there's a bar in the way, you can't see anything. Nah, I brought my chair up, so I was able to see over the bars. I saw everything perfectly fine. I got a drink. We sat down and we watched the show. During intermission, I met Sanders Robin. Coolest shit guy. He was the only guy he was a little taller than me, actually. He was like 6'2", 6'3". He's huge. And so I saw him. I talked to him. We talked for a while. Then I went to the merchandise table, and I got these 2 DVDs. Survival of the Fittest and Richards versus Daniels. They were only $15 live instead of 20, so it's a pretty good deal. So yeah, $15 and no shipping either. So if you factor in shipping, I probably got them both for like $23, which is like 11 each, which is almost 50% off. So it was an awesome deal. So I got both those shows, and then I went back, sat with Honor Hammer. We saw the second half of the show. Then I met with Next Big Thing. A lot of you don't know who that is, and he likes it that way. He's a really good friend of mine. I talked to him. Super nice guy, man. Really nice to meet him live, too. We talked, and then myself, Honor Hammer, him, and Sanders Robin, we went across the street, and we went to a pizza place. That's where in Sabutnaevur's favorite video. It's right down there. We were eating pizza, and then Monoxide, Instant Class G1, Sabutnaevur, whatever, they all came there. Then I met them, and then I was talking to them at the same time. Oh, also guys that I didn't meet. His name's Andy, but I forget his YouTube name. It's like Rude Boy or something like that. Cool shit guy. And Gilbert Blaze, another cool shit guy. Met him too. So I was there eating pizza with those guys, talking to Sanders and Next Big Thing. Then talked to Instant Class G1 as he was here. It was just an awesome time. And then we went to the Irish Times across the street. I got to meet Adam Cole there. Awesome guy. Like an awesome guy. Really calm. He was like, wow, I'm really excited to meet Ring of Honor fans like you. I'm like, hey, man, I'm from Florida as well. I really enjoy everything. I really enjoy your work. I'm a huge fan of the guy. You had a great match tonight. That match was awesome live. Awesome. And I talked to him about Zack Sabre Jr., who's a wrestler he fought at the CCW show I saw. He's a really good guy, too. He was like, and he told me Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be in the States in 2011. Just an awesome guy to talk to. And then me and Honor Hammer left, and that's the end of it. I had an awesome time. It was absolutely one of the best experiences of my life. And the show itself was incredible. Like, that opener, I truly thought was like a 4.25 star opener live. Because I marked out so much throughout that match. The Cabana match I thought was good. I thought it was decent. I thought it was alright. The women's match I thought was good. Maybe because I had such low expectations going in that it didn't really bother me as much as it bothered everybody else. So I thought that was actually a solid 3-star match. Then I thought the Dunn Edwards match was also good. Like, not great, but just barely good. Then the Daniels Homicide match I also thought was like a solid 3-star match. So to me, the first half wasn't bad because every match was like 3 stars or higher. I mean, I didn't rate anything live. Don't think I was like taking notes. No, I wasn't rating. I was just judging from my perspective. That was a good match. That was a good match. That was a good match. So I used words to translate into ratings. And then the last 3 matches, you all know the story on that. So yeah, I had an awesome time. Had an absolutely incredible time. Now, not that this video has gone long enough, but that's my Final Battle experiences. Now, for those who want, you can stay for my review of Ring of Honor Survival the Fittest, although it will not be a happy one. For those of you who've been following me on Twitter, I've really been shitting on this show, and with good reason. This show, in my opinion, is the worst Ring of Honor show of the year. And to this point, the worst Ring of Honor show I've ever seen in my life. I've seen a lot of bad Ring of Honor shows. I've seen Buffalo Stampede 2. I've seen Eliminating the Competition. I've seen Night of the Grudges 2. I've seen Night of the Butcher 2. I've seen a lot of shitty-ass Ring of Honor shows. I've yet to see Escalation and Unscripted 3. Those two are widely considered to be two of the worst of all time. This is the worst I've seen. This is god-awful. I won't say god-awful. It's not worth your money. Let me put it to you that way. Because of the qualifying matches, like last year, the qualifying matches just sucked. They all just sucked. This wasn't the case. The first 4 I thought were fun, but they were just really short. Or they had another reason, like Claudio Grizzly Redwood, you can imagine, that was a total squash. Total squash. Cabana and Titus was a comedy match, and it was a really funny match too. Cabana was mocking Roddy Hogan, who's like a famous Hulk Hogan fan / impersonator in the Michigan area. He was mocking him throughout the whole match, so that was funny. That opener was funny. The Claudio Grizzly Redwood match was a basic squash. It was a good squash. The Steen and Corino versus O'Reilly and Cole matches were both fun. They were just like 6 minutes. I really enjoyed the first 4 matches. None of them were 3 stars, but they were all like enjoyable. Eddie Edwards, Chris Hero. This was different. This and the next match proved to me how god-awful this crowd is. I've hated this Michigan crowd for a long time. It's not just because of Gold Rush or because of this show. I've hated them at Reyes versus Richards. I hated them at Violent Tendencies. I just overall have hated this crowd for such a long time, this Michigan crowd. And this tonight was no different. And during the Edwards Hero match, they were very silent. I personally never get bored when I watch matches with dead crowds. This match almost made me bored. I was dazing off in the middle of it. And then what sucks is Eddie was making his comeback. Like I think Chris Hero gave him the elbow. Then Eddie gave him a suplex. Then Eddie gave him a Hurricane Run off the top rope. And then Eddie gave him a dive. Boom. Injured. And then when Eddie got injured, he kind of just brought Chris back in the ring. Gave him his, whatever his submission is called. God. Is it an Achilles lock? Yeah, the Achilles lock, I think. He gave him that and Hero tapped out. And that was it. It's like right when Eddie was making his comeback, right when the match was about to pick up, it ends. And throughout the whole match, you just have Hero working on him very slowly while the crowd doesn't give a shit. I could see maybe some people are giving this match 3 stars. I didn't. I'm sticking with 2 3/4. It was the best qualifying match easily, but it didn't work for me because of that reason. It just was kind of slow, and the crowd didn't give a shit. And by the time Eddie was making a comeback, he got hurt. Now, El Generico versus Kenny King. El Generico attacked Kevin Steen and Steve Corino after Steve Corino's match with Adam Cole. And then Kevin Steen puts El Generico through a table. So throughout this whole match, El Generico was selling the table injury. So again, it was very slow, and it wasn't that good. And then Kenny eventually went with a roll-up out of nowhere or something. I don't know. Like right after El Generico was mounting his comeback. So this match also wasn't that good. Did this really have to happen after the beating? You really couldn't have El Generico Kenny King be like the first or second match, them having a really fun athletic match like they would, and then Kevin Steen puts out El Generico through the table. Did you really have to do it before the qualifying match? That really did hurt the match in my opinion. Then you could have had El Generico attack Kevin Steen during his match. Because I personally don't think Kevin Steen belonged in the Survival of the Fittest. Because in the Survival of the Fittest match, Kevin Steen was eliminated like in the first 10 seconds. Because El Generico attacked him and Claudio Castagnoli eliminated him. You couldn't have like El Generico attack Kevin Steen, cost him his match, and have Kyle O'Reilly in the main event. I mean, it's not better, but at least we had 6 guys. Having 5 guys really did hurt it. Homicide versus Andy Riley Ridge. Again, this match was fun, but really short. And when Homicide were on offense, it was boring as hell. Only when Andy Riley Ridge was on offense was the crowd getting a little behind Andy. It was a little fun to watch, but it wasn't a good match. Like they didn't do enough for it to be considered good. It was too short. So because of that, we have 7 matches that didn't reach the 3-star level. Now these matches aren't bad matches. Some of them were even I would consider fun to watch. But it's just when we pay $20, I paid $15. I understand, but some people pay $20, $23 if you factor in the shipping. Actually, $27 if you factor in the shipping. That's if you're buying only 1 DVD. When you pay $20 for this, you don't want to see 7 matches that are not 3 stars. Then no good match. You want to see good matches on a Ring of Honor show. This as a company that thrives on matches, on match quality, there should be some good match quality, not just matches that are fun. This isn't Jakara where fun matches can pass it off and being acceptable because you know what you're getting into. Ring of Honor, you don't buy matches for them to be fun. Now, I'm not saying I'm mad that the matches were fun matches because I'm not. but they could have been longer. This show was only like 2 hours and 30 minutes long. You couldn't have added more time to these qualifying matches for them to actually be something instead of just 6-7 minute matches that didn't really mean anything. And therefore, we have 7 matches that didn't really mean anything. But this show does have some bright spots. The 6-man tag I thought was really, really good. I thought this was the best match of the night, actually. The new guys for the House of Truth are Zach Gowen and Michael Elgin. Michael Elgin was impressive as all hell. He reminds me like Husky Harris, but a million times better. He actually wears a singlet. He doesn't like wear trunks like Husky Harris does, and he's not as fat either. And he's super athletic. His offense is very unique. He's just a very interesting wrestler to watch. He impressed the hell out of me in this match. And Daniels and the Briscoes and Roderick, you know what you're gonna get with them. It was your basic fun 6-man tag. They had the dive spot where like one wrestler dives on another, then another dives on him, then another dives on him, then you have like 5 wrestlers diving on each other. It worked, and then it was really fun. Even when Roderick Strong was like working over Jay Briscoe, that was good too because those guys have such great chemistry, which is why I'm looking forward to their match in Charlotte. That was good too. This match, everything about this match clicked in my opinion. I really liked this match. I thought it was the match of the night. The actual Survival of the Fittest match. Like I said, I'm mad that I don't think Steen should have been in here if he was going to be eliminated immediately. I understand that the crowd is not really too familiar with Cole and O'Reilly, but still, it's better than having Steen being eliminated in 1 minute because Eddie was hurt. So you have 3 heels and Adam Cole. And who was the first eliminated of those 4? Adam Cole. And then you just have King, Titus, and Claudio with Eddie on the apron. Like the All Night Express are double teaming Claudio. Okay, Claudio's heel. Are we supposed to cheer on him? I mean, I know the crowd cheers him anyway because the King's wrestling are cool. But still, I didn't like that. And so then the All Night Express are working over Claudio. And then Claudio overpowers them. Claudio eventually gets the advantage. And Claudio eliminates Red, I believe, out of nowhere. He eliminated Cole and he eliminated Red. And then Eddie was hurt. Kevin Steen's already gone by this point. He was gone like in the first second. So Eddie was hurt. He comes in. He fights Claudio. Claudio literally just grabs his wrist. And Eddie's like freaking out and he's spazzing and his arm is hurting so much, so he goes to the back. Then you're just left with Claudio and Kenny. They have a nice encounter, I will admit. They had a really fun match. I was really surprised how strong Kenny King is. He really could just lift Claudio up and down and throw him all over the ring. And then they had a fun encounter. And then Eddie came back. He distracted Claudio. He kicked Claudio in the face. Kenny eliminated Claudio. Then Eddie and Kenny, they fought for like a minute. And then Eddie just got the Achilles lock and won. It was really good. I will say it was 3.5 stars. I thought when the All Night Express were working over Claudio, I did enjoy it. Although I didn't like Claudio being heel, the All Night Express did help this match a lot. I just think Kyle O'Reilly would have been a better fit here because when you have 4 heels and 2 faces and one of the faces is hurt and the other face no one really understands, it's hard to get the crowd to get into a match. That was the problem, and I had been to the show all night. So I did think it was really good. I do think it was the worst for all the Fittest ever. I still have yet to see 2006's, and I think 2007's too. But I just don't see one being worse than this. This was good, but it wasn't anywhere near like last year's, which saved the show. This was still a really fun match, but I just thought this could have been a hell of a lot better. This whole show could have been handled a hell of a lot better. I just thought the booking on the show left a lot to be desired. Now I'm giving it a 6. I know what you're thinking. There's only 2 good matches on the show, even though both were really good. But like I said, a lot of the matches were fun. A lot of the matches weren't really like terrible matches, like Victory Road 2009, which had a lot of similar ratings. So I'm going to give the show a 6. I understand. I probably should give it a 5.5, 5.75. I'm sticking with a 6, even though there's only 2 good matches. But it is a 2-match show, basically. But I enjoyed Steve Corino and Adam Cole. I enjoyed Steen and Kyle O'Reilly. I enjoyed Claudio and Redwood. I enjoyed Cabana Titus. Didn't really enjoy Generico King. I enjoyed Edwards Hero. I enjoyed Homicide Ridge. So I enjoyed the matches. They just weren't good matches. And so that's why the show gets a 6. Now, as a DVD, you do have the best of Nigel McGuinness, which I will admit, that's pretty awesome. Nigel Takeshi Morrison was a really good match. That's when Nigel won the title. Really fun. Crowd went crazy for that title win. Nigel Aries, a lot of people consider this to be one of the top 5 best matches in Ring of Honor history. It's the Classic 8 said this is his favorite Ring of Honor match ever. I personally have always thought the match is a little overrated, but I still think it's an awesome match. 4 3/4, definitely worth it. Nigel and Bryan, you know what you're getting there. Nigel and Kevin Steen. Kevin Steen's second best singles match of his life, behind his one with El Generico on Saturday. This is an awesome match. I really love this. Nigel El Generico and Nigel Strong were both really great matches, though I thought they both went a little too long. They were both like 28, 27 minutes. That's way too much time for both of these matches. You could have cut those matches in half, and it would have been just as good, if not better. I did think both matches were awesome, don't get me wrong, especially the Roddy match. That That's the best Nigel Roderick match I've ever seen. Although I have yet to see their match from Without Remorse and their match from, I think that's it. I've seen their Death Before Dishonor 4. I've seen this match. I've seen their match at Final Countdown Chicago. Yeah, I just have to see their match at Without Remorse. But I heard that match might be their best match. This was great, though. They did a lot of innovative spots that I've never seen before. And Nigel McGuinness versus Naomichi Marufuji was also a great match. So yeah, great shit there. I give that part of the DVD a 9.25. I would give it higher, but it really isn't the best of Nigel McGuinness. They kind of just had the matches from his title run. They didn't have, and of those matches from his title run, I mean, his match with Tyler isn't on here because that was on the Fade to Black DVD. His first match with Brian, this match with Brian Nason is good. His match with Brian at Driven or Unified would have been much better replacements. His match with Samoa Joe was an awesome match. His match with, I know I'm forgetting one. His match with Tyler at, what they could have done here is instead of putting their match with Tyler at Take No Prisoners, they could have put his match with Tyler at Injustice 2. That match is also an awesome match. You could have put that on here. I really don't think they did the truly best matches of Nigel McGuinness. Although this is close. This is some of his best work. So yeah, that I give a 9.25. If you haven't seen any of those matches, you must pick up this DVD. But like I said, same reason with the Allied Forces. Once you've seen all the bonus matches, you're buying the show just for the actual show. And the show really isn't good. So yeah. Yeah, worst ring monitor I've ever seen. Maybe it could have been better. I don't know. Survival of the Fittest, 6/9.25 out of 10. Richards versus Daniels, 8 out of 10. And now you all know how I got the final battle. I'm out. See ya.